Here's a question. What's the size of this square? Well, it's a simple question with a simple answer. It's 6 inches wide by 6 inches tall. 6 times 6 is 36 square inches. That's its area. But often I'm actually interested in something perhaps a little bit more important. How much can it hold? See, the volume of something is usually much more valuable to me. Can I fit what I want to fit inside this thing? Will it hold enough? What's its volume? Well, when we're talking volume, the way we measure that is how many unit squares can we fit inside it. Now, the unit square may be 1 inch, it may be 1 centimeter, it could be any measure. But the question is, how many units fit in this thing? And it's easy enough to figure. Here's what we do. It's related to the size of the original square. How many of those unit squares can I fit on the bottom of this thing? Stack them all up along the bottom and see how many there are. Then, how many stacks tall can I make? So here's what I do to find the volume of any prism of any shape. I find the area of the base. Now, I may have to pick what the base is. In a cube like this, that's actually pretty easy. I find the area of the square on the bottom. Then I take that base times the height. The area of the base times the height tells me the volume of any prism shape. Now you might say, what if the shape's a little odd, like this triangular prism? And I would say, so what? You're still trying to answer the same question. How many of these little unit cubes can you fit inside that space? What's its volume? And it turns out it's just as easy to figure for this as it is for any other prism. It works for cylinders too, but just like when we tried to find the area of a circle, we couldn't do it directly because a square doesn't fit onto a circular shape. We had to use pi to figure out what that area was. We'll need pi here as well. It's the same deal as it is for any other prism. Find the area of the base, and in this case the base is a circle, so find the area of a circle, pi r squared, and multiply it times the height of the cylinder. That'll tell you ultimately how many of those unit cubes fit inside this space. That's its volume. So what's the volume of this shape? Let's figure it out. First, for a prism, I need to pick a base. In this case, it's going to be pretty simple. The base is going to be the blue shape on the bottom. I've measured that with the yardsticks on top. It is 6 inches by 6 inches. The area of the base is 36 square inches. Then I'll take that times the height of this shape, which is also 6 inches. It's a cube. 36 times 6 is 216 cubic inches. That's how many of those little unit cubes would fit inside it. And the volume of our triangular prism from before? Well, first we have to find the area of the base. This triangle on top is 6 inches wide by 5 inches tall. The area of a triangle is 1/2 times the length of the base times the height. So 1/2 times 6, which is 3, times the height, which is 5, gives us an area for the base of this triangular prism of 15 square inches. Multiply that area of the base times the 6 inches tall that this prism is. 15 times 6 is 90. 90 cubic inches fit inside this triangular prism. The volume of a cylinder? First, find the area of the base. In this case, the base is the circle. The circle is 6 inches across. That's its diameter, meaning its radius is 3 inches. And the area of the base will be pi times the radius squared. Pi times 3 squared. 3 squared is 9, so the area of the base of the circle is 9 times pi. I'm going to leave it in terms of pi to keep it as accurate as possible. Now I'll take that area of the base and multiply it times the height of this cylinder, which is also 6 inches. 9 times pi times 6 gives me a volume of 54 times pi cubic inches. The next shape we'll analyze is a pyramid. We want to know how much it will hold inside. What's its volume? Ultimately, it's the same question. How many unit cubes will fit inside that pyramid? And it's actually pretty easy to figure. You have to have calculus to prove it, but the truth of the matter is, the volume of a pyramid is the same volume it would be if it were a prism, only 1/3 as much. So here's what we do. Take the pyramid, find the area of its base, This one is 6 inches wide by, trust me, 6 inches long. 6 times 6 is 36 square inches. Take that times its height. The height of this pyramid is 6 inches. I know you can't really see that. This is important. When we take the height of the pyramid, we want to know its straight up and down height from the floor to the top. Not along the edge, but straight up from the bottom to the top. 6 inches here. So 36 square inches for the base, 6 inches for the height, making a total of, if this were a prism, 216 cubic inches. But it's 1/3 as much since it's a pyramid. So 216 divided by 3 is 72 cubic inches for this pyramid. For a cone, it's the same thing. You still find the volume it would be if it were a cylinder, but instead it's 1/3 as much as an equivalent cylinder would be. So we find the area of the base of this cone. The circle that makes up the base of this cone is again 6 inches across, giving a 3-inch radius. So the area of the base would be pi times 3 squared, or pi times 9, 9 pi. We'll then take that times the height of this cone, which, trust me, like all the others, it's 6 inches. 9 times pi times 6 would be 54 pi. But it's 1/3 as much. And 1/3 of 54 is 18. So the volume of this cone is 18 pi cubic inches. Now it's your turn. I want you to find the volume of various shapes. You're going to get a little practice and then you're going to get a little quiz. There are 4 different shapes that we worked on here. First, a prism. The volume of a prism is the area of the base times the height. You'll have to figure out what the area of the base is first, and it depends on what kind of shape it is. But you know how to find those shapes from what we did back in Chapter 11. Then you'll try to find the volume of a cylinder. That's pretty easy because its volume is the area of the circle, pi r squared, times the height. Okay? Then you're going to find the pointed things. First, a pyramid. Remember, it's just like finding the volume of a prism, only its volume is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Finally, you're going to run into a couple of cones, which, remember, is just like a cylinder. Its volume is the area of the base times the height, but 1/3 as much. So pi r squared times h. Use these formulas, find the volume, find out how much these things will hold. Good luck.